All right, we're gonna get started here. My phone says it's 10 a.m. here on the West Coast, so thank you for those of you that are on time. Really excited for today's session. Thanks for taking time out of your day to spend it with us. My name is Keith Hawken. I am the head of sales and service at Top Producer. Been part of Top Producer for 23 years and part of this vertical and industry for 23 years, and really excited for today's session. A couple of things, just because I usually get asked. One is this is recorded, so everyone at the end of this session will receive the recording. And there'll also be some links and guides and things like that shared in the chat as well. So feel free to participate in the chat and download some extra content that'll be shared with you. But with that being said, let's get started. So today's topic is from connection to conversion, proven strategies to win the rest of 2024. It's hard to believe that at the end of next week, we're at the halfway mark, that we're going to be in June. It feels like 2024 has been a blur. The good news is the year's not over. And there's still lots of time to crush it the rest of this year. It's also lots of time to set yourself up for success heading into 2025 as well. So, one of the things that we're going to talk about today is like some of the stuff that you're going to do today. You may not realize the full value of that until 2025. That's just the nature of this business. So that doesn't mean we shouldn't do it. So that's what we're going to talk about today. Let's go through kind of goals for today. We're going to talk. I want to really do a quick summary of where the market is at today. I think it's always good to look at where things are at, where we think and expect things to go, and how can we also take advantage of some of these conditions as well. We're gonna talk about why it's important to fill your pipeline now. I kind of just alluded to that. Give you some ideas of what you can do to do that. Like, hey, what can I take away today that will help me grow, my network? Ways to stay in touch and close, with your current people, and then also how a Top Producer can help you with some of this stuff as well. So we're going to talk a little bit about that as well. But look, let's get into it. Let's start with the local market conditions. Look, as rates ease, so will the lock-in effect, right? Obviously, there's a lot of challenges right now. I talked to some agents last week, like Keith, I got, lots of people ready to go. It's about to go, and different markets are going to do different things. But the one thing that is still expected is, hey, look, interest rates are still really high. NAR is still predicting that it's still going to come down a little bit by Q4. I don't know if you guys are still expecting that and what your feelings are, but look, we know that that's going to have a dramatic impact on people getting into the market. One thing that's really interesting too is first-time home buyers grew last year, even in midst of all of this market conditions. There's more people getting into real estate and purchasing real estate, which I think is healthy, and something we want to focus on too. Is, hey, you know what? First-time home buyers grew almost from 26 to 32% in 2023 year over year. I expect that's going to continue to grow. I think that's an opportunity that we need to talk about of how we take advantage of that. Single family home sales still about 4.3 million expected in 2024, which is 11% increase. So the good news is we're heading in the right direction overall. There's still real estate transactions happening, right? The one interesting thing that we're going to talk about today is, here's the one thing that hasn't changed. 28 million people move each year. It doesn't matter what market we're in. 28 million people move each year, and 8.5%. Some are going to buy, some are going to sell, some are going to rent. Okay. The reality is it doesn't matter what year I look at, it's still the same, right? It's still about 28 million people move each year. Whoever's the closest to those people at the time when they make that move is more than likely going to win. And I think it's really good to ground ourselves on the fact, like, wow, like 8.5%. Another way you could look at this is 8.5% of your database is going to move this year. Are you the closest to them? 8.5% of your network is going to move this year. The people that you have are going to move this year. Some have already moved. Some will move. So I think it's really, really interesting data to think about is, hey, what am I doing to stay close to those people? Another thing that I think is really good to just ground ourselves on here, and look, this is probably not all new to you, but I think it's so important to think about current market conditions, what drives, home ownership, uh, tenured. The one thing that, and the reason we talk about this idea of 28 million people moving each year is a lot of that's because of life events, right? When you think about reason for purchasing a home, uh, there's a huge amount of desire, dreams to own a home. People need to upsize. People want to be closer to their family and friends. There's a change in their family situation, right? It could be marriage, it could be divorce, it could be, all these other things that happen. Job relocation, right? That's a big one. One of my really really good friends is unfortunately relocating next month to Houston, which is the other part of the country for me. That happens, but that forced them to have to sell their current home and purchase a new home. People need to downsize, retirement. Uh, all those things are catalysts for transactions, for people to make a move. And, the one thing that we have to remember, and we're going to talk about a lot today, is what are you doing, to that when that happens, that they call you? What are you doing today to grow your network, to get in front of more of those people when that happens? We're going to spend some time on that today. The other thing too, home tenure. I mean, it's interesting to see like, large percentage of people, have been in their home for more than, 2 years, which is really, really good to see. But the one thing we also know is that in this 4 to 5, 6 to 7 year range, a lot of people, this is where, there's a good chance they can move again. And we want to be there when they decide. So the other thing too, on average, consumers spend 10 weeks searching for a home. So I think the one thing that is really good for us is just to look at, hey, look, the market is what it is. It is going to shift. We're on the other side of it, right? Transaction volume is predicted to be 11% better than last year, with 4.3 million. What can we do to take advantage of that? Look, the markets are going to change. You can't control interest rates. You can't control a lot of things. The one thing you can do though is the fundamentals haven't changed. In my mind, for you to really crush it every year is, hey, you've got to be adding people to your network. So how do you get in front of new people? Two, you need to stay close to those in your network, right? And where I'm going with that is, hey, I said it earlier, 8.5% of your network's moving this year. Are you close to all of them? Are you the real estate professional that they're thinking of when they're considering that move? So quick business health check. Here's some questions I want all of you to ask yourself and be honest with yourself right now. You don't have to type it out. You don't have to share it. As we go through this today, I want you to think about, evaluating your recent experiences, right? Think about where you are today. You're all here. It is a, long weekend coming up. We're at the halfway mark of the year, right? Where are you at today and where do you want to be tomorrow, right? So a couple things to ask yourself. How many transactions do you want over the next 18 months? What does success look like? If you were to say, gosh, between, by the end of 2025, I want to have this many deals. What number is that? What are you holding yourself to? Okay. Then once you have that as like your goal is, what are you doing to get in front of new people? How are you generating leads or meeting new people today? So it's one thing to say, hey, you know what? I want to do 20 deals between now and the end of 2025. It's possible. Okay. But that's not just going to happen, right? We're going to have to be thinking about, okay, what am I doing to expand my network? What am I doing to grow my pipeline of opportunities, right? So ask yourself, hey, what is my marketing strategy? What am I doing to get in front of, potential buyers and sellers? And then the third one is, what are you doing to stay close to everyone, right? What are you doing to stay close when a life event happens, when relocation happens, when someone needs a bigger house? That was me. All of my transactions, as I started small, I've on my third home now. I needed a bigger house every time as the family grew, right? What are you doing today to stay close to everyone, or that you're top of mind when they think about that move? Okay. Those are really, three fundamental things that you should be asking yourself as you think about where you want to go. Good news is, let's talk about some things we can do, right? So let's talk about some things we can do to stay close. Let's talk about things we can do to generate and get in front of new people. Okay. First one, you got to stay close. Okay. I've already talked about this a lot, is you cannot assume that they're going to remember you. You can't assume you're the one that they're going to pick up the phone. Reality of it is your competitors are fishing in your pond. And what I mean by that is their brand, their value, their face, their name is being put in front of your clients. They're being put in front of your network. And you know, so the one thing that we need to do is like, what are we going to do to stay close? Okay. So first one is I want everyone at the end of today, I want all of you to pick up the phone and call 10 to 15 people and say hi. And do that every day. But you know what? I'll be happy if you just did it today, right? One thing is sometimes we know we need to do these things, but then we talk ourselves out of doing it. Okay. I'll ask all of you, what's the worst thing that could happen if you called 15 people in your sphere, your past clients, and said hi? Okay. What's the worst thing? I can't really think of anything anything bad that comes from that, right? Uh, it doesn't have to have an agenda, right? It's just a check-in. How's it going? You have any questions? I mean, let's be honest. You guys know this. Your clients have questions. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot going on. They're trying to make sense of it all. Your network has questions. There is a person that has those answers and can help them understand it. It's you, right? One of the ways that we stay close to people is we become a valuable resource for them. And we give them and we provide value to them. And we help them in their journey. You know, each of these people in your network, their journey is different, right? You're going to have someone, you know, I don't know how long all of you been in the business for. Some of you may have been in the business for 20 years. Some of you have been in the business maybe 4 months, right? The people you have in your network, their journey is different. Each one of them is different. Each one is in a different place. So even, and here's why this is important. Even if they're not ready to do anything right now, they might know someone that is. You know, I just shared with you that one of my good friends is relocating, right? It's not me. I'm not doing anything, but I know someone that is, right? So a couple of tip number one, it's back to the basics. Spend a minimum of 15 to 50 minutes a day. I mean, 50 minutes seems not enough in my mind. Should be a lot more. To follow up and stay close with people and say hi. Chat about the market, chat about, you know, community stuff, right? Here's a little script that you can use. Also in the link, there was a chat to 30 additional scripts that you guys can use for text and email and calls in these phone calls. But first one is just, hey, it's, you know, Keith over at ABC Realty. Just want to check in, see how things are going. It's been a while since we last touched base. If you have any questions, real estate market, don't hesitate to give me a call or send me a text at blah, blah, blah. Hope this finds you well. Nothing bad can come from that. Okay. We just got to do it. What else, right? So what else can we do, you know, other than just saying hi? Hey, here's some clever, you know, other templates that you can use. Past clients, send them a quarterly market update, right? You know, at Top Producer, our customers absolutely love using our market snapshot reports to keep people informed on what's going on in their neighborhood. You know, it shows all the recent solds in their neighborhood and how long it took and the value. You know, I use an example as an example because I'm not going anywhere. I just bought this house 3 years ago. My wife still wants to know how much the house down the street sold for. It's just funny how, you know, she's just curious. Here's a nice, you know, email template you could use. Hey, you know, hey Keith, hey, hope you're well. Quick update in Q4 of last year, the average US homeowner gained approximately 24K in equity during the past year. Interest in updating your situation. That's a great email. It's okay if you guys steal that email too, by the way. Who would not want to know how much their equity what their equity gain was? Everyone wants to know, right? Simple email. Doesn't have to be fancy. Doesn't have to be anything. It just has to be value. So there's an email. Hey, if you're going to do some follow-ups today, reach out to all the people that you helped purchase a home and send that email out. It's a great one. For any, prospective listings you have, right? We just talked about that, right? Sellers, hey, what can we do with, our sellers? Offer an update. Buyer leads, educate them about the market with, using market reports and new listings and price change and sold alerts. Look, buyers, we said it earlier, they begin their search 10 months. I think it was 10 months, no, sorry, 10 weeks they spend searching. You're gonna have, it's a long game with those buyers, right? We gotta, nurture them over, weeks and months. Some of them are gonna buy now, some are gonna buy later, some are gonna buy next year. Okay, doesn't mean we can forget about them. So, a couple of things here. I want you to work your current network. Those people that are in that network. Okay. Work that database that you have. Call people, say hi. Send emails and offer value. Be that resource. They need you right now. They need you right now. I think you all know that. I'm probably not telling you anything you don't know. They need you right now. There's a lot of noise. They're trying to make sense of it all. There's confusion. What does this mean? Right? What's going on? Where's it going? Right? Be that valued resource. You would be surprised how much business is sitting in your network right now. Okay. You have a pond right now of people. Go fish in it. Okay. The one thing is no one's going to fish in it for you, right? And if you don't throw bait, you're not going to be able to catch anything. So I use that analogy because it's so true in this world. Okay. Second thing. One is you have this network. You have this group of people. It could be 100 people. It could be 1,000 people. I don't know how big your network is, but you have one. The one other thing that you need to do is you have to grow it. You got to be adding to it every week, every day, every month, right? You can't just, one of the mistakes we have is like, oh, I've got, I talk to you all the time. It's like, I've got these people, my friends, my family. That's awesome. And they are such a great source of business for you. The problem with that is you can't make them move. Right? It could be a while before they know someone that's going to need to move, right? So what do we need to do? Well, we got to be adding, right? And this comes back to the question I asked all of you earlier, which is, what are you doing today, from in terms of lead generation and meeting new people? How many new people did you talk to this week? And is it enough to get to that goal that you said to yourself earlier that, hey, I said to myself, I want to do 20 deals between now and the end of next year. Do you have enough new people to make that happen? And my assumption is most of you are going to say probably not, right? Need more, right? So the keys to success this year is having as many conversations as you can, and I mean that from not only your existing network but also with new people, right? We're going to have conversations with strangers to get to our goals and crush it. So, a couple of ideas here that we're going to talk about. One is, look, I think listings right now are such an opportunity. I think it's an opportunity for all of you right now to go get a listing, right? And it's going to come from you farming, right? Go and provide value to your farm, right? Become the go-to expert, right? And build a relationship. I love working, I've been doing this for 23 years. I love it when agents are like, Keith, I just go and knock on doors. I go leave flyers. I go do this, right? They're just persistent, right? I think it's opportunity right now to go and have conversations with people about what's going on. I mentioned that earlier, a lot of confusion, a lot of, uncertainty about what's going on. So chance for you to do that. So think about, right now, I'm going to give you an idea. Another one we're going to talk about, I think everyone needs to leverage social media right now. And what I mean for that in terms of lead generation, it's one of the most effective and affordable ways right now for you to get a steady stream of new people and grow your network. So farming, here's a tip for you to farm. Target 50 homes. Okay. Find, look at a recent sale you had. Look at a recent sale, maybe one of the agents. Okay. Right. Think about, a neighborhood right now, where there's some activity, right? All of you should know what's going on. Okay. And go and target 50 homes around that, right? Go ask, hey, do you want to know, how much that house sold for, how long it took, right? Um, you know, go and offer value and just be curious. Okay. Here's a little, script you could use, right? Hey, I want to touch base about, 1234 Main Street in your neighborhood recently sold for this amount. There's so much interest in there. I want to check if you have any, see if were interested in selling time soon. Also, be have sending new listings and sold alerts to your neighborhood. Again, one thing you'll notice here with a lot of these scripts, it's me offering value. It's you offering value. Okay. That's what's needed right now. Okay. Is we need to be that resource, and more so than ever right now. One of the things I always think about is, and I'm going to leave this as a tip for all of you, is how can you help them? It's not how do I get a listing or how do I help them buy? It's how can I help them? Because you do that, those transactions just happen. Okay. They will happen for you. So here's a tip. Go farm, target 50 homes around a recently sold. Maybe some of you have some solds right now. Go target those homes and go say hi to some neighbors. You'd be surprised what you can find. 50, all of you can do this. Okay, everyone can do this. Okay, so coming back, one is staying close. Got it. Our network right now is a gold mine. You're gonna have to go fish in it. There is potential deals in your network right now. Same time is we've got to be expanding our network. And I love what Andy posted. He's like, so hard to add to my network when I have so many other important things to focus on. I can't even stay in touch with the ones I already have. Yeah, I mean that's what we're gonna talk about. So, as a segue, right? How can we help you win? Top Producer's been around for over 40 years. We've been helping real estate professionals build their business and help them win over the last, 4 decades, right? So one is, I mentioned earlier, one of the best ways for you to add, and let me change that. I'm not going to use the best. Best is not the right description. One of the most affordable and consistent ways for you to add that's easy is social media. Why? One, audience size. Okay. I mentioned to you guys earlier that first time homebuyers grew last year by, went from 26% in 2022 to 32% in 2023. First time homebuyers have a very specific demographic. I don't need to tell you what that demographic is. Okay. But I can tell you it's the demographic of social media. It's the demographic of Facebook and Instagram and all these other things. Okay. So if I'm looking for a way of getting a lot of new people, social media is a great place to do it. Okay. And it's actually something new that we've been helping agents do, which is, kind of adds to, it's so hard to add my network. I don't have time. Great news is we can do it for you. So one of the things that we do at Top Producer is we help agents grow their network with an estimated 30 plus leads every month in your local market. Who could use 30 plus leads every month right now? Would that help us get to our goals in 2024 and 2025? I mean, I'll do the math. That's 180 leads over 6 months. Could we use 180 leads over 6 months? I'm sure a lot of you can, right? One of the other reasons that Facebook and social is a great channel is you get contact info. You get their email address, you get their phone number, you get names that comes from their social profile. Very few channels offer that. And the other thing too, it's affordable, right? You can, adding to your network and doing lead generation can become very costly. Social is very affordable. And the other thing too, is it lets you target. So what we do at Top Producers, we actually help agents with targeting consumers in their local market that have demonstrated interest and show an interest in real estate through recent search activity. Have you guys ever, I'm sure you've all experienced this, right? You go online, I'll share a funny story. I'm searching for golf clubs right now. I go online, I search for golf clubs and trying to figure out what the latest and greatest is. I open up my Facebook, I go on Instagram. What do I see? I see golf clubs. I see TaylorMade ads. I see Callaway ads. I see brands I've never heard of show up on my social feeds, right? And why is that? Because they're targeting me based on my search behavior, right? We do that for you, right? So when consumers in your local market go and search on real estate online, we actually target them with property advertisements to capture them. So they've shown some interest in real estate. Let's say you're in Naples, Florida. They go search for Naples, Florida real estate. We'll now target those consumers in Naples, Florida, with property ads to help you generate consumers. One of the reasons I really like this too is these people are actually, submitting their information to you. As I said, one of the big benefits with Facebook and social is it's using their information that's in their social profile. So you capture it. But the other thing too is they're going through a 4-step registration process to kind of say, yes, I want to be connected with a local professional because we recommend that a local professional is best to help you through your journey. So how that looks, they click on the ad, they go through a 4-step registration process, you capture them. And then now this is where technology is the biggest thing for us, right? All that goes into a system that nurtures them and creates conversations for you. I think someone mentioned in the chat, I don't have time for all this, right? Most of you probably say you don't have time for all this. The one thing that we do have is that's where technology can come in and help us do all the heavy lifting. If you want to stay close to your database, you need a system. If you're asking yourself, gosh, Keith asked me earlier, what am I doing to stay close? And if you don't have an answer, you need a system, right? You need a process. It's one thing to get these consumers. It's one thing to have these names in your database. Another thing to nurture them and create conversations from them, right? So how we help agents, we help them create those connections with multi-channel automation. What I mean, a series of text, emails, calls, reports, data that we share, right? We do it all for you. Who would like that? Who would like it to be done for them? That's what we do at Top Producer. So a couple things to kind of recap really quickly. You can dominate the rest of 2024. Okay. And Top Producer can be a partner to help you do that. Why? One is we can give you a high volume of new people to talk to. As I mentioned, our social lead generation solution typically averages 30 plus leads every month. If you want more, we can definitely do more. But who could use 30 new people to talk to every month? Combine that with smart follow-up through Top Producer, you're going to see growth in ROI, right? If you just focus on those two things, which is adding to your network and getting new people to talk to and staying close to the ones that are in your network, you all can hit your goals. It is possible. It's not going to be easy. It is possible. Okay. It really is. I want you to think about it as like, gosh, is it really that simple? It is that simple. It really is. Okay. So, hey, so I want to help you guys. All right. I know we're heading into the May long weekend here. I want to help you this. So I got an offer for you. You can get our platform. Plus you can get 30 plus leads in your local market. Okay. Pricing for that is $429. Okay. A month. $429 a month gets you the platform plus 30 plus leads every month. Okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to knock off 50% off of the first month. So what that means is you can get started for 214 bucks today. Okay. Not only that, what I'm also going to do, I'm going to give you our concierge coaching onboarding, which gives you a one-to-one coach who will actually be your partner in ensuring that you maximize your investment. They're with you for the first, you get one-on-one calls to get it set up. You get one-on-one coaching calls after that. They're there to make you, that's normally a $299 value. It's free. if earlier on when I asked you, what are you doing to generate new people? What are your goals? What are you doing to stay close? And you feel like you need to improve in one, two, or all three of those areas, we can help you. Okay. If you're interested in taking care of this offer, it is available today to everyone that attended. So all of you that are here today, you want to take advantage of this and get yourself set up to get a consistent stream of new people coming in from your local area, as well as the tools and processes to nurture and create conversations and opportunity for yourself. Give my team a call at that number on the screen, 1-866-329-0399, and they will be able to help you and look at it from your market and give you a little bit more specifics. But the one thing I want to recap, success is achievable. Okay. It's going to come from, it's not going to be given though. Right. Um, and all of you can do it. It's just going to come back down to those basics of, hey, staying close and constantly adding new people to talk to. Focus on those two things. You'll be amazed at what you can achieve. Thank you all. Again, give my team a call at 1-866-329-0399. They can totally help you get up and running. And you could potentially start getting, new people to talk to as early as next week. How nice would that be? Other than that, have an awesome long weekend. I hope everyone crushes it in the rest of this year. Reach out to me. I would love to hear how things are going or some of your challenges. So, my name's Keith Hawken, and I'll make sure that my contact info gets also shared as well. But give a call to our team right now, and they will be able to help you. Thanks, everyone. Have a great afternoon. You all.